gentlemen of the internet, my name's Callum for GameEngineStart.com and here with Ewan.
Hello.
And we're here to look at Stellaris.
This crazy fucking thing.
Yeah, so I talked about this on the podcast this week, or whenever it is you're watching this. And it's a space game by the guys who made Crusader Kings 2.
Yeah, it was because I know Paradox from a bunch of their other stuff they've done, and then when you mentioned that they were the guys that did Crusader Kings, I was like, oh, this thing's nuts.
It's those people.
It's one of those games.
And when I start showing you the stuff behind this game, you'll very much see how Crusader Kingsy it is.
How much gilding do you have to do in this game?
No, because this is a space game, there isn't quite so much gilding.
The fact that your answer is not none.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't fully completed the game of this yet because it takes quite a long time. There may be late game gelding.
Late game gelding.
Who knows?
Sure.
But yes, I'm going to show what the hell this game is. We're going to start by not actually playing the video game.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to show off the Empire creation tool.
My favourite part about video games is when you don't play them.
Yeah. Instead, we're going to create an empire.
Oh, nice.
So this is the empire I created. We're just going to sit and we're going to.
Are these the things on the left? They all.
Right. So the one at the top is one I made.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay.
And the other ones are like pre-gen ones.
You mean you didn't make the Ixodar Star Collective?
I didn't make the Star Collective or the Jelma Dominion or anything like that. No, these are all things that are the game made and will make variants of in your game.
These names are great.
They are very good.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to hit create new, and I'm going to show you how you create an empire in this game.
Let's make an empire.
So,
yep.
The first thing, we're going to go down this list very quickly.
So many things on the screen right now.
It's not as stupid as you think it is.
Okay.
So the first thing's appearance. Is like, what do you want your race to be?
Oh wow.
So you can do mammals, and there are a variety of mammals. You can be like basic humans.
I love
so you can
how
be
human is one of these things.
There's a human.
Okay.
You can also have like monkeys or like weird different monkeys. There's like
these animations are great.
There's some great, and they like animate differently when you're talking to them as well.
Sure.
It's great. It's these weird
what
things.
Even is that?
I think that's an anteater. I'm not sure. There's like a boar thing and weird koakin. And look at that thing.
What even is
that? I don't know. Yeah, but they could also have like weird reptile people that are all scaly and have not that guy. Look at that.
Oh, that's turtle.
That's just a turtle.
That's just a turtle. Yeah.
This guy's got two mouths.
Sure.
We've got weird bird people that have all got feathers and.
Is that what? Why does the one in the bottom right there have a helmet and the rest of them don't?
I'm guessing because they like can't breathe space air or something. I don't know.
Right.
But these are all like because now right. This is the best thing about this game, or one of the best things.
Okay.
Because you've so say you start this game and you decide I want to use that as how I look.
Yep.
You can then customize your empire based on the fiction that you create in your head.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're like, oh, these guys can't breathe space air. How does that work at an empire's perspective? So it's like maybe they focus a lot on science because like maybe we can find a way to breathe the space air or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can. It's a weird kind of. It's all about building kind of your story as an empire.
I want to see the mollusk guides.
Yeah, so other things you've got like weird arthropods, like insects. You've got mollusks, which are just like weird.
Oh, wait, just things with tentacles.
Tentacle things. Some of them float in the air.
That's great.
This is just Cthulhu.
How does that guy pilot a ship?
This guy?
Yeah.
With his mind. Maybe.
Yup. Okay.
I don't know. And then there's just animate spores.
That's just a mushroom.
That's just a mushroom. It's this guy that looks all creepy. This guy's got a huge head. So yeah, you can pick whatever you want and design.
What's that guy fourth along there?
Fourth along.
On the
this
top
guy?
row. No,
This
that
guy.
one. Yes. Oh, he looks cool.
You want to design an empire around this?
Do they have genders?
Yeah, this is apparently a female one of those.
But you don't get. There's not a male version of
There
that?
is. We'll get to that apparently.
Okay.
So you get to. This is you naming what your empire's called.
Okay.
What a collective of your people would be called,
right?
And the word that you would use to describe them in context. So, like, we would be humans. So this would be what you would call this race in context. So when other people refer to you, you are the somethings.
Different from your name.
Different from your name.
Okay.
So you would be the something empire, but your people would be X's or Y's or whatever it is.
Hit that dice a couple.
So
of
there is a
times.
randomize button.
Nope.
No.
No.
Publians?
Nah, they don't look like Publians. They do look like Otagans.
Otagans?
Yeah.
Okay.
They look.
So keep going here. So this is one of my favorite things. So we have ship prefix, which is, I talked about this in the podcast, which is like the 3-letter whatever before all the names of all your ships.
How long can you make the prefix? Okay. Yup.
Go as long as you want. I picked NTF because it was a cool reference to free space.
Sure.
So you can have whatever you want in there. It's just
like just looking at them, like just the word crusty just appears in my brain. Like yeah,
so you now have crusty,
the crusty gatto.
So you can see them here. There's like crusty levac, crusty scaldigs, crusty gattos, whatever you want to call them.
I read that article where they said that the crusty gatto was what you needed to do to save your marriage, and it's not
the inverse crusty gatto.
The inverse crusty gatto.
Yeah. So what were these things? They were arthropods, right? So so you got, then you can alter this by picking names that are relevant to your...
Yes! That's just a nonsense law.
You can also... There is a way of creating a text file that has custom names in it and importing it into the game, so you can put whatever names you want into this game.
Like, that's just nonsense. Like, all of that is just nonsense.
Yeah, because you're arthropods, you're animate insects, so it's all X's and stuff, because you're basically going...
yeah, totally. Yep, okay.
So
this is fine.
Now we get to pick what our initial starting ruler looks like, which is where you can pick your gender of,
so
like...
does that change? Doesn't change.
Apparently, arthropods just look the same regardless of gender.
Sure. Let's make a female.
So there's female, randomized name like it.
Nope.
That's pretty good. I don't know.
No, that's the one. Well,
Ratex, Hootkin.
Give me one more. Yep, that's the one.
There, that's pretty good.
Yep.
Pilax. So you don't have hairstyles because they're
insects.
So you just have different hues. Should we call them hues?
Yeah, okay.
There's like golds and reds and...
Phenotype.
So that would be like, if you were a human, you could do like, do you want to be white or black or Asian or...
Oh, phenotype.
That's phenotype.
Yes, of course. What race?
I'm gonna go with... I think these look good.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go for reds. Okay.
They don't wear clothes?
No, because they're insects.
I bet clothes isn't like different chitinous playthings. No.
Yeah, different, yeah.
Oh, flick through them. Let's see what the colour clothes
I don't think we have a choice. Let's just what that race looks like.
Okay, sure.
So, now, that's just the species, right? So now we get to choose our home world.
Sure.
So in this home world, you get to name the home world and the star system of the home world there. But you also get to pick what type of world your race thrives on. So it can be like a continental world, which would be like Earth. An ocean world, which would be like, if you're familiar with Star Wars, like Manan.
Yep.
If you're familiar with Star Wars. There's like Arctics and tundras and all that stuff. This will affect the planet that you spawn on, so therefore the kind of tiles, the sort of things you would get on the tiles you work, but also means the type of other planets you can colonize.
Okay.
So if I pick arid world, then I can obviously colonize arid worlds, but I can also somewhat colonize like a desert world, because that's kind of arid, but not really. If I pick continental, I can kind of do an ocean world, because it's a bit like a continent.
Yeah, sure.
It's like that sort of idea.
Okay.
Tropical worlds, desert worlds, all that sort of thing.
Okay. I see them as ocean people.
Ocean people, ocean insects.
Yes.
I'm going to randomise these.
Nope.
No?
Nope. Yes. Pokemon.
In the Cavob star
system. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Do you ever go to the Cavob system? I hear the bars are really something else.
Random stuff. You can choose to start in like our home system, which is Sol, or this made up one called the Neb.
No, the Deneb system.
Is the Neb real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, when I say the Deneb system is real, I heard it on Free Space 2.
So it might be real.
It might be real.
Anyway, so then you get to pick what your cities on the planets look like, so you can make them look like the mammal cities, or the reptilian cities, the avian cities.
Maybe the avian cities, they look cool.
They do look cool. Big mushroom cities.
They look too spiky.
Big mollusk cities. But yeah, the avian cities look cool.
I like the avian city.
Okay. So that's how our home world would look. Then we go on to the interesting stuff.
Oh, fuck.
So this is our empire, government, and ethics.
Okay.
So your ethics define how your people act. So they can be things like, they can be militaristic.
Okay.
Which is like they get bonuses to
their
damage, and like if you are rival with another nation, you get influence and all that sort of stuff. But by staying on your own, you don't gain as much influence.
Sure.
You can also be things like xenophiles, which is like don't like aliens.
Yep, totally.
You can xenophile is you like aliens.
You
You can also be xenophobes where you hate aliens.
Yeah, totally.
Militaristic, where you like science and all that sort of stuff.
Individualists,
which is like, hey, we don't like migration, all that sort of thing. So as you pick your ethics, so let's say, like, what do you want our insects to be?
I don't know, but based on the news from today, I kind of want to turn them into like a mollusk Donald Trump.
Okay, so xenophobes?
Yes, heavily xenophobic.
So fanatic xenophobes?
Yes, totally, yes.
Okay, so some fanatic xenophobes and like...
No militaristic, but like slightly materialistic, was that? Oh no, wait, what's collectivism?
Collectivism is like...
Slavery tolerance plus 50?
Yeah, so that's like kind of you've learned to unite as your own empire. So like you care about your race, and if you come to other planets and meet other people, you're not opposed to just taking them in as slaves.
Yep.
You've got spiritualists, which are like all about religion and stuff. You've got pacifism.
Nope.
Materialist, which is about science.
Nope. They're just
individualism. That's just all about making money.
It's the collectivism.
Collectivism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slavery tolerance.
So, by picking your ethics, you then influence what type of government you can have.
Sure.
So, if you had picked, say, like a spiritualist or something, you could have. Where are the spiritualist options? They are somewhere around here. Here. Okay. So you can have like a theocracy where the head of the church is the head of the state and all that sort of stuff. Because we have picked fanatic xenophobe and collectivist, we have these two choices. This is a politic oligarchy, which is where the wealthy rule, basically, and a despot empire, which is like everybody does what they want. It's an autocracy. Everybody can just do whatever.
But it's just right.
It's the empire. So you don't really have a central government. Everybody just kind of does their own thing.
It's the first one then.
There's one ruler who rules everything with an iron fist. It's communism, basically.
Yeah, it's the first one.
Yeah, so this is like
yes.
It's an oligarchy where the wealthy are in charge.
There's no negatives to that.
There aren't, but what your government type is also influences how you talk to other nations.
Sure.
I've never played as a political oligarchy. I can imagine that when you get there and you meet other races that are maybe like lesser than you, you're just kind of like,
you're not even worth talking to.
Yeah, you're not worth talking to or whatever.
Okay, cool.
So there are other options where you can just like, we hold elections based on what's morally right, or like we let science run our government or whatever, or the military. It's like you can have a junta if you want.
Nice.
It's just pretty good.
Okay.
So our government is all about getting minerals and getting energy,
yep,
and hating on everybody else.
Yeah, totally. That sounds right.
You then get to name the empire or whatever you want. Just randomize the empire. Oh, the randomize button doesn't work. That's weird. Just gonna throw some shit at it, whatever.
Sure. That's gonna be great.
Then you get to design our flag. We're not gonna play as these guys, but it's no. Then you get to design the flag, so you have literally all these fucking options for your fucking flag.
These categories are great.
Yeah. You have ornate, or you have pirate, which is all just skulls and swords.
Just the big fucking skull.
Big blocky things.
Do you have just like a dollar symbol?
Ornate?
That bottom right one looks like space money.
That could be credits, right?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I'll take that.
So you can just pick like what the background is and the different colours.
Yep, I like that.
Waves.
Wavy one. Yep.
You can have like blacks on reds and stuff. Yeah.
Okay with that.
So then, right, the last things are how your ships start off.
Okay.
So your starting weapons are either you have guns, you have lasers, and you have missiles.
Okay.
These all have different strengths and different weaknesses, to where projectiles are really good against armor, but not good against shields, I think is the way it's round it is.
Okay.
Kinetic
energy.
Yeah, so go through shields. Really good against lasers are good against shields, but not good against armor. Missiles are kind of good against everything, but there are things called point defense systems that can shoot down missiles.
Sure.
So it's all just based on what you want to do.
Sure.
So I think that Trump would use guns.
I think we should make Pokemon great again. I think we should just...
So then you have your FTL travel method. So what this means is how your ships travel around space. So you have warp travel, which is like you can go longer distances, but it's slower.
Okay.
It's all based on like hyperlanes and all that. It's strange.
Sure.
Hyperspace travel is you can go places really, really quickly, but you have to do short jumps because you have to like power up hyperdrive engines and move them. You then have wormhole travel, which basically says I can go anywhere at any point, provided I have this thing called a wormhole generator.
Okay.
Which then your ships go into and come out at another point.
Right.
That you directed.
They don't just go into another wormhole generator.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure. The only touch I've had with wormhole generation is when I was in a multiplayer game with one of my friends, who picked wormhole generation, and I met up with his borders, and we were like sitting talking for a while, and I said, can I get into your borders because I need to do like a mission or whatever it is. He's like, oh yeah, it's fine, I've got wormhole generators all along the borders anyway, I can get into your capital if I want. I was like, I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
that's what you can do. You then just get to pick how your ships look.
Cool. Okay.
So you just get to pick whatever one of these
Avian ships.
Avian ships are
Kinda
pretty
awesome.
cool. And that's you've made an empire. While this is simple compared to Crusader Kings, how this influences the game is really interesting.
Okay, sure.
Like, like all your government stuff influences how you talk to people. This influences how early combat goes. Like, it's just bizarre.
Sure.
It's really strange.
Okay.
So that's how you design an empire. I'm going to now quickly jump into a game. This is a game that I had to restart because the main game that I spent quite a number of hours on, I came back to one day and the game had chosen not to save a bunch of progress that I'd made in the game, which included an entire war.
Oh.
So I went, fuck it, and burnt it to the ground and started again.
So it just didn't save?
Just didn't save it for whatever reason. So we're going to load this. I can't remember what the hell is going on right now, so we're going to find out together.
Okay.
Right. So.
My god, that's a lot of... stop!
This is space.
Calm down. Okay.
So, this is a spiral galaxy. This is one of the things you can set up at the start of the game.
Yep.
Like spiral galaxy, number of empires. The interesting thing is there's a slider that says number of empires with greater technology than you.
Okay.
So you can start off the game with empires that are more advanced than you, which is really good for fluff reasons, because like you're starting out as an empire, but there are these massive empires that have been around for generations or whatever. Yeah, so this is you can see clearly this is the area that I control, because it's coloured in. These are people that I've met. So there's the Xerian domination, and there's what are these guys? The United Yamasian domains.
Okay.
Yamakaran domains. So there's a lot of things to do here.
Yeah.
So right, this is my home system. From here,
it's a cool blue sun.
Blue sun, which is I think Deneb. Yes, Deneb.
Okay.
So
Helios. Okay.
we have our home planet, which is called Unity.
Okay.
There are a lot of things on this screen.
There are so many like icons.
Yeah. So on this screen you have the system, which is like the Deneb system. This is how much stuff I'm getting out of this system, which is like credits, minerals, food, all that sort of stuff. You have the population, which relates to this surface game, which I'll explain in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. The food supply, which influences how much you're growing and stuff, like Civ, how much research you're outputting and all that sort of stuff. You then have your governor. There are elections to put in different governors. Also,
depending on how your empire is structured, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could just have a dictator and never have any but I have a democracy, so they have elections. They also when the person wins, they have a mandate, which is like I want to get this done in my term of office, and if you don't get it done, your people are really angry at you.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah. You then have edicts, which are like you can take the influence that you've gained from like doing social things, for like accomplishing missions, all that sort of stuff, and put in edicts which say things like, hey, we're going to do some propaganda to increase happiness, or we're going to focus on science so our science output goes up, all that sort of stuff. On the main planet, when you have the population, you have this surface game, which is all based on a grid-based system, which is different tiles have different things on them that you can work.
Oh, this is like a mini Civ.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where you would get, because you would get, that's a Civ thing where you get like
different hexes have different, basically just like a mini one of these. So this tile, for example, has one food naturally. Okay. So the natural thing would be to build, say, this hydroponic farm that increases the food output. Sure. But you can also just say, fuck the food, I want to build like a science lab or a power plant or whatever. Okay. The interesting thing about this is that some buildings have influence on other buildings. Sure. So this central building, which is our the administration, like the center of government, has +1 to any tile surrounding it. Okay. So this would normally produce 3 food. It produces 4 because it's next to the planetary building. There are other buildings that are things like the equivalent of space banks. Okay. That if you which produce credits, but also output the credits of the entire planet by 10%, but also increase the energy output of power plants next to it by +2. Okay. So this then becomes a really weird management game of putting stuff in the right places to get the most out of it.
Yeah, okay. You can see that.
you then also have this, which is like your armies. So when you have to have an army to defend the planet, but if you want to take over another planet, you have to have an invading army.
Sure.
You then have your spaceport where you build ships. And on the spaceport, they have different module slots, which are like things that can then influence stuff on the ground. So we can increase our food or our current gain by putting solar panels on it.
Okay. So how much time do you actually spend in these screens as opposed to like branching out into other?
And like these mini screens,
like these,
a lot of time.
But like this is one of these planets, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a planet, and you do this for every planet that you own until you sectorize stuff, and then it changes.
Sure.
I've not gotten that far yet.
Okay.
Again,
I'm seeing the names of ships appear on the screen, and they're all great. The NTF Pearl is pretty good.
Yeah, so there's NTF Diligent, the NTF Pearl. Those are the Strike Force, which I renamed to be the 53rd Hammerheads, but then changed because
I need to go back and play Free Space.
it's a really fucking good video game. Anyway, so that's it. So that's how the planets work. Your armies are just standard fare of like you build ships and you build the army. It's influenced by the big system in this game is all about leaders. So every division of your government has leaders that you can put in.
Okay.
So planets are run by governors. Your science team is run by the scientists. So you need scientists to do your research, but you also need scientists to run your science vessels that go out and do missions.
Sure.
Admirals will manage your fleets. Generals will manage your ground game. So I have this fleet that is managed by this Victor Manrov.
So can we zoom in and see that fleet? Like actually see them?
Yeah, where are they? They're over here.
Oh, cool. Right. Oh, it's full 3D and everything. Ooh,
Yep.
Nice.
So that's all the
They're
corvettes.
cool looking ships. Okay. Yep.
The cool thing about the fleets, we're about to get to our menu here, is the ship design here, which looks like this. So you can build ships to your heart's content to do different things.
No. Just
So-
give me this as a game. I'll
Yeah,
do this.
this is cool. So what you want to do is, so if you want to say, let's build a destroyer ship, because destroyers are big. So you pick, destroyers are 2 blocks. So you pick 2 different blocks to put together. So your first block, you have options of like, do you want a number of small guns? Do you want one really big gun?
You should you should totally do that mini disc player on the right there.
The Faithbreaker,
Yeah,
the one really big gun.
Yep.
And then your back ship has like, do you want 2 really small ships or 1 medium one?
Sure.
Or so we do that. So that's how the ship looks, just
cool.
in
Yep.
air. So then, what big gun do you want on the front of your ship? Where it's like you can have a big nuclear missile or a big lightning gun. There's like big lasers that just take.
Lightning gun is not something you see in a lot of space games.
So this was an interesting thing. One of the like dynamic aliens that kind of float around, not an empire, just kind of like neutral aliens or something like that. Like these things called void clouds,
Okay.
which are just basically giant lightning clouds.
Nice.
And if you like study them enough, you can kill one of them and take their like essence essentially and study it to get lightning guns. The really interesting thing I found with Void Clouds was the multiplayer game I played where my friend was like a religious fanatic.
Sure.
He encountered Void Clouds, and instead of having the option to study them, he had the option to start like when he studied them, I studied them and got the kind of like, here's what they are in a scientific perspective and here's what we can do. When he studied them, they got the thing of like, these things are really old. They must have been around when the gods created the universe, so they must be some sort of sentinel watchers of God. So it changes. The game changes entirely depending on what government you have. It's weird.
Okay.
So yeah, you get one really big laser on the front, and you can put like a lightning gun, like 2 lightning guns on the back, and that's where they show up.
Yep. Okay.
And then you have your utilities, which is like you need reactors to power all your shit. So you need to put.
I'm assuming there's some part of that menu is here's how much this thing costs.
Yeah. So on the side here,
production. Yes,
is like so that's a cost, how much it takes to build, how much it costs to maintain.
Right.
It's so I've got negative 25 power, so I need to put in more reactors.
This was my favourite part of Alpha Centauri.
By just building shit,
Because
yeah.
you
really
wouldn't just build shit, you'd build units and stuff.
Yeah.
And I spent so much time optimizing stuff.
So you can. The interesting thing about this is because you can build multiples of the same type of unit, I can have like laser boats and missile boats and all that sort of stuff that will then I can then alter my fleet depending on who I'm fighting.
Right.
So there are people who are like having lasers, I can take out my big laser gun boats that'll kill them.
Sure.
So then you get to name it, save it, do whatever you want to it.
Okay.
So that's how fleets work. We've also got the basic research, which is like every tree, which is physics, society, and engineering, has a person assigned to it. They also have unique things that make.
Oh, let's see the fucking tech tree for this game.
Now, this is where this game differs and makes it kind of interesting.
Okay.
There isn't a tech tree.
Okay.
When you finish a research,
This is not a Civ game if it's not got a tech tree. Like, I wanted a huge, big fucking
It's
tech
not
tree.
a tech tree. It is... You finish a research and you're presented with 3 randomly chosen options.
Okay.
And you pick one.
Huh.
And you then get 3 more randomly chosen options. And this is where... I talked about this in the podcast a little bit. Where sometimes you get an option and it's a rare research.
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh, that's sexy. I should have that because it's rare.
Rare research.
Rare research. So you should have that.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is every tree has its own, every like branch of division has its own like things that will research.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of things.
Okay, so give me like, show like, so what are you currently trying to do?
Okay, yeah, let's have a look. So, what have we got?
So
we've got.
Also, we should probably mention what's the victory condition for this game.
So the victory conditions are I think it's like either kill every civilization or control 40% of the galaxy.
Okay.
I think either of those works.
Okay.
So what have we got here? So we've got our main base. We've also got this other colonizing planet, which is slowly growing. It take time to grow up and actually build a city before you can actually use it as a. What else have we got? So I'm expanding my borders out this way by use of these. There are frontier outposts that you can put in to manually expand your borders. I kind of want to expand down here because this is all really mineral rich.
Okay.
Which would be really good to have.
Nobody owns that so far?
Nobody owns that so far.
Okay.
The problem is that this big civilization here, not that big, owns this. So if I put like this border here, so if I put like a frontier outpost there, I'm then encroaching on his borders and they might get kind of mad at me.
Sure. Have you had any contact with them so far?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. My contacts list, where are they again? Zerian Domination.
Send them on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So these guys don't really like me all that much.
Evangelizing zealots?
Evangelizing zealots.
Evangelizing is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, so they are fanatic spiritualists, so they're really into the religion. And they're evangelizing because they're militaristic. So they will be like, we're going to believe in our God, and if you don't believe in our God, we're going to kill you.
Okay.
So there are ways. They are currently our rivals. I didn't even know that.
Okay.
So that just basically means, hey, we don't like you.
No, sure.
Wait,
can you go back to something new? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Negative 217. What
yeah,
is that?
so that's their opinion. Yeah.
Oh, it actually breaks down.
So it breaks down why they don't like you. They mainly don't like us because we don't believe in their God.
I like how one of the reasons they don't like it is just because they're evangelizing zealots.
Yes, they don't like our God. They don't like us because we don't believe in their God.
Okay.
So they're like, we don't like you. So
we should, I may have missed what your alignments
oh right,
are.
yeah. So we're an indirect democracy. So we're like fanatic military. So we're all about science, but we also have a military bent.
Okay.
So it's kind of like general humanity.
Okay.
Well. Yeah, well, what it should be. Just met these people. Look at these guys.
They're cool.
What are they? Plutocratic oligarchies.
So they're xenophobes, but
they don't like aliens, but they're also pacifists.
Okay.
So they just kind of want to be left alone, basically.
Okay. Yeah, true. Okay.
Just fair enough.
They just sit in the corner and tut at you.
Yeah, it's like
we don't like you, but we're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we can do is, where are our science vessels currently? So we have one science vessel that's back at home, and we have another science vessel which is currently investigating this system. So, when you come up against a new system, let's take this one for example. So we're going to send him here. We can hit survey system. I'm going to unpause this game and I'm going to really speed it up because...
So the other thing we should probably say for people who don't know is this is all real time, right? There's no turns like a normal...
This is already that I can sit and pause and unpause this game at will. So this science ship is going to make its way... Oh Christ, it's already gone.
Oh wait. Discovered
Hang on. We have discovered an abandoned solar sail ship in orbit around Mahagmas 8. Sublight vessel was built at this is one thing about this game. There's a lot of fluff around it. Like the paragraph when I finished research on the void clouds was like chunky.
Okay.
It's a lot of reading. So our science vessel that was the Wolfhound here that was investigating the Mahagma system found this solar sail ship that's really old but might be interesting choices. So our choices like it's a primitive design, so we gain some research from it but not a whole lot. It's like cool.
Okay.
So this science ship is currently it's going to sit and scan these planets. Let's do our science vessel. It's going to scan the planet.
Nice. Okay.
And see like what minerals are on it, if there's anything interesting on it.
It's going to tell you.
Yeah. So that you scanned that and found there's got 2 minerals on that planet.
Okay.
One of the really interesting things you could do is you can scan planets and
Oh,
what's this? We detected the presence of a pre-space age. I was literally about to say this. So you can find random alien races that aren't at space technology yet,
right?
And you can study them, which is really interesting. So it's like we should consider building observation outposts above their world to study them more closely.
That seems like a very big brotherly thing to do. Like,
well, it's not.
We're going to build a giant camera to watch your planet.
Yeah, but they don't know that. They don't know what space is.
I'm assuming they know what space... But they appear to have mastered air travel and factories are mass-producing goods. So they know space exists.
They're in the machine age. They're building like cars and stuff like that.
Okay.
They assume... I guess they know that space exists, but I don't think they're not as high technology as us. Okay. So what we can do... Actually, we're going to do this. What's this? There are surveys of how the worlds or biologists have gained a vast amount of... Oh yeah, so I had a mission where it was like... Scan a whole bunch of worlds and like see what life exists. Sure. So it's now, hey, we've now got a museum of exobiology on our main planet. It's like, excellent, cool.
The public is enthralled.
We get a bunch of research and some credits because people are going to our nice museum that we have now.
Excellent. I like how that's a single option. It says excellent.
Excellent, cool. Yeah, it's like the I told the story on the podcast of the pot I saw flying around planet, and after I studied it, and the scientist came back and said, we don't know what the hell it says. My only option was fine. That was it.
It's a very science thing.
Oh, cool, I can show this off. So one of our research is finished. So when you finish a research and you get to pick a new one, you have 5 options because I actually have different tech. So you can just say, and that's it. Like, you don't have a tree. Like,
you can't re-roll these.
You can't re-roll it. It's anything like that. But it's like, researching one thing will still lead into another thing, but it's chance whether or not that thing turns up. So like, I started off my empire with red lasers. Mm-hmm. I randomly got the chance to get blue lasers, which is the upgrade to red lasers. You can influence what turns up based on events. So like, I found a crash ship or something like that, and it said plus 48 research to fusion power. Oh. So that then made that turn up, which is actually I'm going to research fusion power.
So there's no overall view of like, I want to aim for this thing, so I need to do this, this, and this.
Well, you kind of roughly know that, but there's not like a tree that you can go and look at.
Okay. Sure.
So let's finish scanning this system, and then I'm going to build an observation outpost over these people, so we can actually look at them. I think if we go here, can we see them? Machine age. This one, larger part of the industry. Their factories are mass producing goods and vehicles, and air travel is becoming commonplace. So they're in like the 70s, something like that.
Sure.
So we can now have the option, I think, to build an observation outpost somehow. Oh, we need our construction ship, which has observation outposts on it somewhere. There it is. So let's get him into this system. He's gonna come up and gonna start spying on these aliens.
That's bizarre. Okay.
It's a really cool little thing.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So he's turned up. So now we can go observe this planet.
So if you were a xenophobic race, you could still do this. It's just you won't get like. This is still open to you. It's just not fictionally.
It's like you would do it, but like the options you would get back, because like as you observe them, you'll like get things that's like, hey, this thing has happened to this civilization.
Sure.
The option how to respond to that will simply be like, whatever. They're beneath us. Who cares?
And I'm assuming as well.
With new people have contacted us apparently.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, frogs! Some frogs.
Yep. Space frogs.
We are the Dima Zanlin Collective. So, minions of the wise overlord Rakatax the Thirst.
That's a good name for a space frog.
Improve ourselves through use of technology. Sure, whatever.
So those icons, they're the reason why you have that option is because you are one of these things.
Yeah, so like this option is available because I'm a fanatic materialist. It's like that sort of thing. Yeah, so like if you're a materialist, so if you like science, you have the option of like when people talk to you, you can say things like, we can work together for the betterment of all of us. But if you're fanatic about it, you're like, we don't trust you. It's ours. Yeah, so it's like, we're only a little bit militaristic. It's like, yeah, we'll salute you, it's fine. So what you can do is, when you meet a new civilization, these people are quite nice, so we can like communicate with them and like establish an embassy.
Wow, okay. Yep.
So when you establish an embassy, you then, their opinion of you will increase month on month, because they're like learning about your culture and all that sort of stuff. When they like you enough, you can then do like trade things, just like, hey, let's work together on research. Or let's
demand vassalization. Yes. Vassalization is not a word I've seen written.
There is also that where if you beat a race into submission enough, you can demand them to become your vassals.
Sure. Which
is like, hey, you're gonna keep the fact that you're alive and the fact that you're your own race, but we own you. It's that kind of idea.
Vassalization, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is what my friend I talked about in the podcast did to Earth.
Yes.
He vassalized Earth and they revolted.
I remember.
Yeah. They didn't like him very much.
That's cool. Okay.
So these guys were now going to build an observation outpost, I think. Somewhere. Oh, we don't have enough credits, do we not? Oh, it's not within our borders. Shit. So it needs to be within our borders to get it. So
you need to build a frontier station.
So now I need to build a frontier outpost. Can I build a frontier outpost? That's the question. I can. Fantastic. Let's build a frontier outpost. Over Jaundice, which is not.
Jaundice is a weird name for a planet.
It is a bit. So yeah, this is basically the game.
Okay.
There's a lot of this. A lot of looking at very big maps and picking widespread empire decisions.
So like, the thing I'm enjoying potentially about this is the kind of random bits of narrative that will happen as you're flying.
Yeah, that's the really interesting thing is like the story that you start weaving as you build your empire up, because you'll start having rivalries and start being able to like find ancient old civilizations, all that sort of stuff. It becomes a really interesting. Again, the multiplayer in this game is really, really hard to set up. Once you get in it and you have other human beings setting up their stories as well, it becomes crazy and a lot of fun.
Okay.
Like hearing my friend woe over people setting fire to farms on Earth was hilarious. Like I was sliding up and down the walls.
And again, I'm assuming in the multiplayer game you can't pause.
You can pause. Yeah.
So how does it pause for everyone?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can't do it all the time. You have to like all agree to pause, and then all agree to like if you want to up the speed, you all have to agree to up the speed and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
What's happened here? Complete research of fusion power. Cool. So then we get to pick something else.
Sure.
Random choices. So we have Director of the Museum of Exobiology on Unity has issued a request for procurement of alien life. So they want us to go and pick up animals. Yeah, sure, we can do that. Okay. So now we get to do this, because if we go to our situation language where all missions are. So yeah, my governor or the president said we're going to build more mines. So if we don't do that, we're going to get shit on.
Oh right. So this is your quest log.
This is my mandate. Yeah, this is the quest log. So we can just set. So we have to get all these.
Oh wow, they've named all the creatures you have to get. Oh, you need to go get the wily rod.
Well, we don't know where they are. They might not even be in our borders. So we can, if we just track all these on the map, we can see where everybody is. And then...
So so they know where they are. They just don't.
Yeah, it shows where they are, but they might not be in your borders. In which case, you have to be like really nice to people to let them in.
Sure.
So we have.
Can we come in and steal?
You can, in theory. There is like stealth technology that lets you go through borders without.
Oh, that's so sneaky.
Yeah, because like you physically can't go into someone's borders without their permission.
Right. Sure.
But there is technology that will let you do it, and then if you discover, they'll be like, "What the fuck's this?"
Yeah,
and that's really bad.
Here. Yeah.
So yeah, we have 3 of them within our borders. There's one not in our borders that we can also go get pretty easily, so we can just send him to go do that.
Okay.
Just by going research project, which is him going to pick up the item. There are 2 in this guy's territory, in the Yamakrans. Do they like us? They don't really. They're unfriendly towards us. Do we have an embassy? We don't even have an embassy on there. There we go. They'll like us in a few months.
I like how they don't get a choice. It's like, we're putting one in here.
Yeah, it's just like, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. They're all molluscoids.
Wait, what is it? I'll never understand how it is that creatures such as you came to be beast let alone made it into space. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, xenophobic.
Because they're xenophobic, it's like, yeah.
Okay, sure.
We don't like you because you're not us.
You're not us. Yeah, okay.
So let's go to. How's our. If I fast this, how long does this take to build? Oh, it's already done. It's nearly done. Okay. So yeah. You're basically. This is just a game of spinning a lot of plates. And
yeah, kind of.
You're like constantly just trying to manage about 6 different things all at once and be like, oh, where are we going to go from here? Oh shit, there's aliens. Oh god, no, where is everything gone? Oh look, we're expanding our borders, great. Oh, but these guys don't like us.
Does it feel like you have...
There, so...
Does that feel like you have control over this?
Yeah,
because it seems like a lot of this is just happening and...
Well, it's happening because I told it to happen.
Yeah.
Like, what do you feel like I don't have control over?
I don't know, like, it just feels like... Yeah.
Like, everything...
You're right.
The only reason that this doesn't make sense to you is because you've not set this empire up.
Oh yeah,
like I understand everything that's going on right now because I did it.
It's more like there's so many systems involved in this that stuff will just be popping off and you're not entirely sure why.
The learning, I'm not going to say the learning curve isn't steep. It's a little bit steep. It's not as steep as say Crusader Kings.
Sure.
Because it's slightly easier than Crusader Kings to understand, but it's still like you're going to have to sit and try and understand.
Oh totally, yeah.
So that we can build our observation outpost and start looking at these crazy aliens that are here. I've never actually done this before, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, this will be interesting.
I don't know if like I immediately get something or I get something in a few months. Actually, while we're here, this planet should be done by now. It is! Fantastic. Let's give them a governor. Let's put a governor. So they all have unique traits.
Of course they do.
So it's like, you can get more food from him, he can live longer. He likes slaves, we don't like slaves. So because it's a new planet, more food seems like a good idea.
Sure.
Hey, we got one of the aliens. So we got Illurians? I don't know what they
Furry
are.
omnivores wrap themselves into tight balls and roll across the snowfields at astonishing speeds. I want one of them!
That sounds adorable! Yeah.
I want one of them!
One animal's clocked at 80 kilometers per hour. That's really fucking fast.
Maybe I don't want one of them.
Sure. They sound great.
Awesome.
They sound great. Cool. So let's go to our surface.
There's so much detail in this.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
So we've got a pop that's growing.
So why are some of them marked?
So they are like dangerous.
Okay.
That you have to then clear. Like
Okay.
this is filled with toxic kelp that we need to clear.
Sure.
There's just fucking wildlife that might eat us in this one.
Nice.
That we have to clear away.
And there's a cost to clear it.
There's a cost to clear it.
Sure.
It's a fucking active volcano right there.
Nice. Let's pour
Um,
concrete into the volcano.
so let's move the population that's growing here, and we're going to build a hydroponic farm because we want to grow. Yeah. So if you try and put one resource on, you'll get rid of the other resources on the tile. So that's fine. Let's also build up a spaceport because spaceports are cool. Because they need a spaceport.
Sure.
Is our observation post on? It is on.
Observation posts have
Oh!
teams of scientists
I'm learning here as well. So passive observation, the natives are studied unknowingly from a safe distance.
planets they orbit.
So we gain 3 social signs.
It's the first directive. The Starfleet
Yeah, it's like
directive.
look but don't interfere. Aggressive study where live specimens are frequently collected. Oh, so that's abductions.
I was going to say, let's go down anally.
That's like pick people up, anally probe them. Technological enlightenment, an effort is made to rapidly elevate the native civilization into the space age.
Okay.
So that's like creating a. Oh, that's really interesting. I can explain that in a second.
Yeah.
Covert infiltration agents are genetically modified to appear as members of the native species.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Gradually replace world leaders, prepare the planet for annexation by us.
so that's like you
Lizard
suddenly
men.
taking that's
Lizard
you
men.
taking over the planet. That's really cool. Actually, I didn't know that.
nuts.
I'm totally gonna do that. That's great. So this is really interesting. So the enlightenment thing, where it's like we're gonna bring them up to the space age. It says there like so that's how much it's gonna cost us, like 5 credits and 5 science a month. But it's like we don't have the policy that lets us do that. So our government wouldn't be happy with that idea. We now need to go and have a vote that says, are we allowed to interfere with alien life to the point where we can bring them to the
Is that
space age?
global or just these guys?
That would be global.
Okay.
So if I then put in a mandate that says we are now allowed to elevate
Sure.
races, I can do that if I want.
Okay.
Other races might not like it
Sure.
because like you're interfering with natural order, but we have voted on it and we
Yeah,
decided it's okay.
totally.
In the same way that if you want slaves, if you want to be able to set fire to planets and purge aliens, all that sort of thing, you need to vote on it.
Okay.
If you're a democracy, you need to go and have that vote and
Sure.
decide if you want to do that. If you're like complete communist dictator, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Sure.
So it's,
yeah.
I wonder if that would just be completely, you could just do whatever. That'd be really interesting. So playing this game as a dictator might actually be really interesting at that point.
Totally.
But yeah, that's basically this game.
That's bizarre.
That is Stellaris in a nutshell.
I really like the amount of detail they go to.
There's a lot of detail in this game that's unbelievable. The amount of writing and just like fluff they put on everything,
and I can just see like,
and so many interplaying systems that
I
just
can
kind
just
of
see hours disappearing to this thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
they go away pretty quickly.
jeez.
That's
That's cool. No,
yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. Okay.
Go.
Yeah, I mean,
This is what you expected.
I won't play this. Like,
Really?
I know I won't play this, but I can totally see why people would.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
So yeah, that's